Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Long ago, there lived a princess named Snow White. She was a beautiful princess, and like all princesses, she lived in a castle. Her stepmother, the queen, also lived in the castle. The queen had a magic mirror. Every day she looked into the mirror and asked the same thing. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? The mirror always gave her the same answer. Oh, queen, you are the fairest one of all. But one day, the mirror had a different answer. Snow White is the fairest in the land, the mirror said. The proud king became very angry. She wanted to be the most beautiful lady in the land. The queen sent for the huntsman. Take Snow White away, she told him. She must never ever come back to the castle again. You must kill her. And to make doubly sure you do not fail, bring back her heart in this. The huntsman took Snow White into the woods, but he could not kill the sweet princess. He loved her too much. Instead, he said, "Run away, child, quickly. You must hide from the queen. She wants to kill you." Seriously. So, Snow White did just as she was told, and she ran through the woods as fast as she could go. It was very dark under the trees, and she heard some scary noises, but still she ran on. At last, Snow White could not run any more. She fell to the ground and cried herself to sleep. Two rabbits hopped up to sit by Snow White. The little bird flew down and sang to her. Then two deer came to stand behind her, and a raccoon and a turtle sat by her feet. How adorable, isn't it? Snow White awoke and sat up. She was not afraid any longer. The friendly animals led her along a little path. Soon they came to a small little house. Snow White tapped to the door. "Is anyone home?" she called. "Well, you know it's illegal to trespass on someone else's house. Get arrested for that." Finding nobody home, Snow White made herself at home. The animals pushed open the door. Snow White followed them into the house. She saw a table and 7 little chairs. There were also 7 little bowls. My goodness, she said. 7 little children must live here. I wonder where they are. But I seriously doubt if they're Rainbow Bright's helpers, the 7 colored kids. Snow White went into the kitchen. What a mess! There were dirty dishes all over the place. These are certainly 7 messy little children, she said. I guess maybe I could clean their house for them, perhaps. Then maybe they'll let me live here with them and keep me safe from the evil queen. Snow White got down on her hands and knees and she cleaned the floor, just like Cinderella. Then she washed all the dirty dishes. The deer and the rabbit helped her. As soon as the cleaning was all done, Snow White and the animals went upstairs to the attic. There they found 7 little wooden beds. Snow White lay down and soon fell fast asleep. But in the middle of the day, this is an old book. I gotta make sure it stays wide open so I don't have to hold it. Not far away, 7 little men were climbing out of a cave. They had been working there all day long, digging diamonds and other jewelry. Now it was time for them to go home. As they walked through the woods, they sang, "Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's home from work we go." The 7 dwarfs walked up to the very house where Snow White was sleeping. It was their house, of course. "There's a light in our house," said one. "Somebody must be in there," said another. Well, they're gonna be in for a pleasant surprise when they find out how nice and clean the house is. Snow White reminds me of my housemate Fatima because she likes to clean and do all the housework. They were a little bit scared, though. And quietly, they crept into the house. They looked all around. "The floor is clean," said one of them. "The dishes have been washed," said another. "Who do you suppose did this?" asked the third. One by one, the dwarfs tiptoed up the stairs. Perhaps somebody was hiding out there. They pushed against the door. Suddenly it opened, and the dwarfs fell into the bedroom. The noise woke up Snow White. She sat up, her eyes wide open. "Oh my," she said. "You are not children, you are little men." "That is right," said one of the dwarfs. "But who are you?" "I am Snow White," said the princess. "I'm Dog," said the dwarf with the glasses. He seemed to be the leader. "I'm Happy," said the little man with a big smile. "And my name is Grumpy," said the one with a grouchy face. "I'm Bashful," said the fourth dwarf. He did not look at Snow White. He was twisting his beard. "I'm Sneezy," said the one between sneezes. "My name's Sleepy," said the sixth dwarf. "And that's Dopey," he added, pointing to the little man beside Snow White. "He never says anything." hope he doesn't talk much, does he? The 7 dwarfs took Snow White downstairs. It was getting late, and they were very hungry. Snow White cooked supper for everybody. It was easy with so many people to help, including herself. "This is the best food I have ever eaten," said Happy. Even Grumpy did not look as grumpy as usual. It was just like having a party with Snow White at a table. Later that night, the dwarfs sat in a circle around Snow White. The princess told the little men about the wicked queen who wanted to kill her. "Oh, Snow White, you must stay here and live with us," said Doc. "We will hide you from the queen." The next morning, the dwarfs went off to work. Snow White waved goodbye to them. "Don't let anyone in," Doc told her. "The queen may be looking for you." But alas, the queen was not looking for Snow White. She was looking into her magic mirror. "Magic mirror on the wall. Now who's the fairest one of all?" she asked. The mirror answered, "In the house of the 7 dwarfs, Snow White still lives. She is the fairest one of all." "Snow White still lives?" cried the angry queen. "We'll see about that." She rushed down the steep and winding stairs to a secret room under the castle wall. In that dark place, the queen grabbed a dusty bottle from a shelf. She took a long drink from the old bottle. Poof! She turned into an ugly witch, just like the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. Then the witch took 2 more bottles, a green bottle and a red one. She poured them into a big iron pot. She was making a magic brew. Next, the old witch dipped an apple into the pot. "One taste of this," she said, "and Snow White's eyes will close forever in the sleeping depth." The witch took the poisoned apple to the house of the 7 dwarfs. There she found Snow White with her animal friends. "All alone, my pet?" said the Wicked Witch. "Here, take one of my lovely apples." "Thank you," said Snow White, and she took a big bite. Suddenly, she fell to the ground. Her eyes were closed as if in a deep sleep. "Ha!" cried the Wicked Witch. "My spell has worked. Snow White sleeps. I hope she sleeps forever." The queen did not see all the animals running off into the woods. The animals ran to the cave of the 7 dwarfs. "Something is wrong," said Doc. "Snow White must be in trouble," said Happy. The 7 dwarfs raced home to help the princess. Were they too late? The Wicked Witch saw the dwarfs coming. She began to run. She ran so fast, she didn't look where she was going. And that was the end of her. But that did not bring Snow White back to life. The dwarfs found Snow White in a deep sleep. "Wake up," said Doc, tugging at her hand. "Wake up, please wake up," cried the others. But no matter what they did, they could not wake the princess. The dwarfs made a beautiful golden bed. They put Snow White on the bed. Day after day, they watched over her. Day after day, they placed beautiful flowers on her. And still, the princess slept. She would be locked in her spell until and unless true love's kiss came to wake her up. Just like in Sleeping Beauty. Well, at least she didn't sleep for 100 years like Sleeping Beauty. Let's see what happens next. Time passed. Then one day a prince came riding his horse into the woods. He had heard of the princess who lay sleeping there on a golden bed that the dwarfs made just for her. The handsome prince found the sleeping princess. He saw that she was more beautiful than the flowers around her bed. He bent down and kissed her. Snow White opened her eyes. At last, the wicked spell was broken. She sat up, smiling at the handsome prince. How the dwarfs cheered. How they laughed and danced and sang. The prince put Snow White on his horse and carried her off to his castle. There they were married and lived happily ever after. And the 7 dwarfs came often to visit at their castle. That was a good story, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed reading it. I sure did.